All right, this is going to be a very quick and very simple video about my first impressions with the Metaquest 3 here that you see. I have been running the original Oculus Rift, like the CV1. I'm talking like the old school Oculus Rift with the original touch controllers, which you see right here. I love these things. They still hold up. It's phenomenal. Like I've smacked these things into the wall several times, but the joystick started to develop a little bit of a dead zone after about 8 years of use. I used it off and on. I really started using it a ton when I was playing Pavlov VR. That's still my favorite shooter to date because, I grew up on Counter-Strike and stuff like that. So the game is just intuitive for me, and I just like the movement. But there are some amazing games. There's tons of stuff now on the Metaquest 2, 3, and the 3S. The Metaquest 3 is very similar to the Metaquest 2, obviously. And I'm kind of waiting for the next iteration that comes out, not only from Meta, because I'd rather not get a Meta Quest. I'd rather get something different, something incredible. I'm really looking forward to what Valve offers with their next one. I am happy with this thing. It is a little bit expensive, and you can see that I've added this is the Kiwi Design Battery pack. It's awesome, and it has the adjustable straps on the sides. Right away, you're going to notice it's extremely uncomfortable with the basic head strap. Let me show you in comparison. Okay, so when you first get yours, it's going to have this on it. There's a good short little video. You can look it up, how to install head strap on the Metaquest. And you just pop these off very carefully, and then you install your battery ones. I still get a little bit of discomfort, more than I did with the Metaquest 2. Now, I do have the Metaquest 2, and I have this almost exact same head strap battery combination from the same manufacturer. Although the way that the weight is distributed, it feels a little bit forehead heavy on this one. When I'm using it, I notice that a lot of the fan gets blown out through the top here. But that's fine. I mean, I'm glad that it's actually ventilating, some of the heat. The other upgrade that you're definitely going to consider is the silicone cover or like a gel cover for the face mask. This thing is just like the original Oculus Rift. It's, scratchy as hell. It's gonna leave you kind of messed up. So I definitely recommend you getting something like this. You could even like poke holes in this to give a little bit of aeration to it, a little bit of ventilation. Overall, it makes it a lot better experience. You can use it for a longer period of time, but you may find your forehead sweating a little bit more. So that's something to consider. I think it's awesome that they put in adjustable depth for the lenses for people who have glasses. I think that was one of the first requested features on the original Oculus Rift that people had a gripe with. And I think they addressed it pretty good. Again, you can adjust, how close together the things are, the lenses, right? The lenses, let's talk about the lenses. So these lenses, they're great. I don't notice a difference between this and the Metaquest 2. And I would say I have decent vision, but like when you're playing a game or you're sculpting, you don't really notice it. The one thing that I did notice a big difference in, for the worse, are these controllers. These controllers are dog shit. I love the fact that they do fit my Metaquest holster, and actually I designed this thing without ever having these controllers. That's my little trade secret for you. But these are very similar to the Metaquest 2, so I knew they were probably gonna fit this one. But yeah, these controllers, compared to the Oculus Rift that has the sensors, which I placed all around my room, which was kind of pain in the ass. And then if you turned around in a certain way, sometimes the sensors wouldn't pick it up. Or if you're trying to bend down and pick up a weapon in a game or something like that, it does lose the tracking. These feel better in my hand. They sit better in my hand. I don't have to worry about them flying off of my hand. I never ever used these little leashes here. And actually the leash on these is ridiculously long. Like, this is stupid. I'll probably be taking that out, and I'll be either developing my own or buying some sort of pro looking strap, kind of like the Knuckles controllers have. And then I can see how something could come here and then, just a little bar, and then have a little pad on that bar to not only protect your hands, but, keep it in there when you don't want to grip it the entire time. However, it wouldn't fit, you know, in this amazing holster that you can find on Colts 3D. Go ahead and download and print today. Yeah, these controllers, I have problems with tracking with some of the games. Sculpting is fine. Like all the art programs, it tracks perfectly fine. Most of the time your hands are going to be in front of you, right? When you're sculpting or painting, you're not going to be like doing anything underneath the table or the desk, you know, the chair. You're going to be sculpting right in front of you, and it works great for that. I love the mobility that I have with ShapeLab. ShapeLab has ShapeLab Lite. It's very affordable. I highly suggest if you're interested in VR sculpting and you don't want to spend a whole lot of money, I think Adobe is great. The Adobe program is really good, and there's some really talented people using it, the Adobe Medium upgraded version. That's kind of the same. And they're charging like $200 for it. That's a scam, all right? It's a good program, but it's lacking some of the features I think that the original Medium had, and I don't know. Voxel sculpting is good, but you do need a good computer to do it. I like ShapeLab because it does it with polygons, and it has a voxel remesh option if you want to convert your thing into voxels. So there's just all kinds of options, right? I also really like the Vermilion app, the Vermilion painting app. ShapeLab and Vermilion are my go-tos now for art stuff. But if you want to get into like VR sculpting or VR painting, there are several free options in the Meta store. Like they're right there. You can get in. If you get the Meta Plus subscription, like it gives you like 3 months free trial, which I'm on right now. It's not bad. Like there's some decent stuff in there. I'll probably be uploading a bunch of that onto my VR gaming channel. But primarily on this channel, I like to do sculpting, and I found that sculpting on ShapeLab Lite was a breeze. Like it's the same feeling, the same experience, and the same app. It's almost like the original PC version that we had. It's very simple, and it works. I'm telling you, it works. You can scale it, and not only that, it has pass-through. So you can see what you want to sculpt in real life through the cameras on the front, and then you can sculpt that, you know, right in front of you. It's amazing. You don't always have to do that. The other thing that's really cool is you can hook it up to your PC, right? If you're going to do streaming, or if you want to record a lengthy video, a higher quality video, you can do that. This is the 512 gigabyte version. I downloaded a gajillion games and apps to try them all out, right? And I've recorded quite a few videos with the headset just to test it out, and I think it works out pretty good. It's amazing what you can do with this headset. After all, it's pretty much, you know, a cell phone. One of these, okay, and it looks like one of these, all right, and they have the lenses. I'm gonna be using this a ton. I've already used it outside. One word of caution though, there are some videos that show, like there was a guy, I think he was going down a mountain a few years ago, snowboarding, and the light killed his cameras or his sensors or both, because of the reflection from the snow. So don't use this in direct sunlight. They're not kidding when they say don't put this in direct sunlight on either the lenses or on the cameras. Like you got to take care of it. So there's already aftermarket support for the Metaquest 3 and the 3S. I think the 3S looks cool with the way the cameras are oriented, but I believe that is the lighter version. So it's very affordable. If you want to get into that, ShapeLab also supports that. I don't work for ShapeLab. I'm just very excited that I can sculpt on the go as well as at home, and then I can print it on my brand new resin 3D printer. My first test for my resin printer was amazing, and then just before I made this video, I dropped this, and so yeah. They have drop-safe resins. They have some really good stuff now that they mix in with the resins. You can buy it. There's some videos about that. So yeah, resin printing blew my mind. It's so smooth on the top. Like I didn't know that was possible with 3D printing until I tried it. And this is about the cleanest you'll ever see this desk. One of the other things that I forgot to mention is you kind of have to have this. The battery life is really good on the headset alone. I think it's about 2 to 3 hours depending on what you're doing in the brightness settings, etc. But you would benefit greatly if you have this battery pack extension, and it adds to the comfort. It's very affordable. I would definitely pick that up along with that face cover or a gel cover. You don't have to buy Meta's, you know, $70 thing. Just get something that makes sense for you. It's whatever you want, right? They do have an audio jack here. I didn't know that. They said this is the thing that you tap right? Twice for pass-through, and the Metaquest 2 already has that. So like I said, this is very much like a Metaquest 2. If you have a Metaquest 2, ShapeLab recommends a Metaquest 3 in order to handle the app. I'm gonna try it on a 2, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I have to buy it again. I'm not gonna buy ShapeLab Lite again just to test it on a 2. But if any of you have success sculpting on the 2, let me know. Put it in the comments. That would be a great little thing to try out. I'm sure they know that it's not going to work, or it's not going to be able to handle highly detailed, polygonal models. Who knows? But yeah, I'm really excited. The future of VR is really bright. The next step is, competition. Let's get some competition. Let's get some other headsets rolled out. We'll get better controllers than these. I mean, nothing's really changed since, the Oculus Rift. Like, what has changed? Nothing. Nothing. They just keep redoing it over and over. And I think these ones are way better. Way better. And these don't have the orbs. They have like accelerometers and, the cameras look at it. And it does an okay job. But I noticed with some of the games, when you're going down low to pick something up off the ground, it does have trouble. And I thought that was really weird. Even in a well-lit room, it still has a few issues. But that may be game-related, software-related. I don't know. Let me know what your experience is in the comments below. Did you pick up a Metaquest 3? Do you have a 3S? What's your experience so far? I highly recommend it if it's your first headset, but then again, they're probably gonna come out with some newer features if you're looking for getting on the Meta plantation that this is. Again, it wants to collect your data. That's why they call it metadata. But right now it is a very affordable, viable mobile headset that you can use for quite a few years. You can hook it up to your PC, play your PC VR video games just fine. Just make sure you get a long enough stable extension cord. I will be upgrading this again with probably a little adapter that goes in between these so that this doesn't get all worn out from me unplugging and replugging it in. Also, I'll probably get one for this battery pack here because I'm always recharging it. So that's just that. Other than that, I mean, what would you use this for? Seriously though, I love this thing, don't you? It holds everything so well and so nice on the desk. You don't have to have them just laying around on the desk all day. Makes them look much, much better. Keeps them secure. And your hands free when you're gaming or sculpting. Look at that, it doesn't fall out. I'm telling you, this is a real holster. And the belt loops are big enough to fit my gun belt, so there's that. And you can have one. You could print one yourself. You can download the file in Cults 3D. Check it out.